My name is Caroline Mitchell. I'm 29 years old. 5 months ago, I sat in a hospital conference room with my parents, my brother Derek, and the transplant team while Dr. Sarah Chen, the head of kidney transplant services, read from Derek's medical file. My parents had spent 3 weeks pressuring me to donate my kidney to save Derek's life, calling me selfish and heartless for hesitating. Dr. Chen looked up from the file and said, "Before we can proceed with living donor evaluation, I need to address some concerns about the recipient's suitability for transplant." My mother interrupted. "Caroline already agreed to donate. We just need to schedule the surgery." "Mrs. Mitchell," Dr. Chen said firmly, "I haven't cleared Caroline as a donor yet. And more importantly, I have significant concerns about Derek as a recipient. According to his medical records, he's been non-compliant with dialysis for the past 8 months, missing 60% of his appointments. His toxicology screens show regular cocaine use. His liver enzymes suggest heavy alcohol consumption. And when our social worker asked about lifestyle changes post-transplant, he told her he wasn't willing to stop drinking or using recreational drugs." The room went silent. My parents stared at Derek, who couldn't meet anyone's eyes. "A kidney transplant requires lifelong commitment to medication compliance and healthy lifestyle choices," Dr. Chen continued. "Derek's current behavior indicates he would destroy a donated kidney within months. I cannot, in good conscience, allow a healthy person to undergo major surgery to give an organ to someone who won't take care of it." But what my parents didn't know was that I'd already told Dr. Chen privately that I felt coerced into donating. And she'd done exactly what transplant doctors are trained to do. She'd found medical reasons to protect me from a donation I didn't want to make, while exposing the truth about why Derek needed a kidney in the first place. Before I tell you what happened when my parents realized they couldn't guilt me into giving away my organ, please like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy this story. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from and what time is it there? I love connecting with all of you. Now, let me take you back to where this pattern of sacrificing my well-being for Derek really started. Growing up in Philadelphia, I learned early that Derek's needs always came first, and my needs were always negotiable. My family. Dad, an insurance executive making about $180,000 a year. Mom, a part-time event planner. My brother Derek, 18 months older, charming and reckless in equal measure. And me, the responsible one. The backup plan. The one expected to sacrifice for family. Derek got chances. I got obligations. When I was 14, I saved up babysitting money for a school trip to Washington, D.C. $600 over 8 months. I was so proud. 2 weeks before the trip, Derek crashed his car. His second accident that year, both from speeding. The insurance deductible was $1,000. Dad came to my room. "Caroline, we need to borrow your DC money. Just temporarily, we'll pay you back." "But the trip is in 2 weeks. I've already paid the deposit." "Derek needs to get to work. His car is essential. You can go to DC another time." I gave them the money. The trip happened without me. I never got paid back. Derek got a new car the following month. At 16, I got accepted to a competitive summer medical program at Johns Hopkins. Full scholarship, but I needed $800 for housing and supplies. "We can't afford that," Mom said. "Money is tight with Derek's expenses." Derek's expenses were his DUI legal fees. He'd been arrested for drunk driving at 18. My parents spent $5,000 on a lawyer to keep it off his record. I didn't go to Johns Hopkins. Derek got his record expunged. But throughout all of this, I was labeled the healthy, responsible one, and Derek was the one who needed extra support. At 22, I graduated from nursing school. I'd worked my way through with scholarships and part-time jobs. I was debt-free and employed at a good hospital. Derek was 23 and had just dropped out of college for the second time. He was working part-time at a bar and partying heavily. My parents supported him financially because he needed time to find himself. That's when I started noticing Derek looked unwell. Puffy face, fatigue, nausea. He brushed it off as hangovers. By 24, Derek was diagnosed with kidney disease. The doctors said it was likely from a combination of factors: untreated high blood pressure, heavy alcohol use, and possibly drug use that he denied. His kidney function deteriorated rapidly. By 25, he needed dialysis. My parents were devastated. They immediately started talking about transplants. "You're a nurse," Mom said to me. "You understand how this works. Derek needs a kidney. He needs to get on the transplant list. The waiting list is years long. He needs a living donor. Family is the best match." I didn't say anything. I knew where this was going. Dad got tested first. Not a match. Mom got tested. Not a match. I was the only other option. "Caroline, you need to get tested," Mom said. "Derek's life depends on this." "I need to think about it."
Think about it.
Her voice rose. "Your brother is dying and you need to think about it?" "It's major surgery. I need to consider." "What is there to consider? He's your brother. Family helps family." I got tested to buy time. I was a perfect match. 6 out of 6 antigens. The transplant coordinator said it was rare to have such a good match. My parents were ecstatic. Derek seemed relieved but not particularly grateful. Then came the donor evaluation process. It's extensive. Medical tests, psychological evaluation, meetings with social workers, education about risks. During my private meeting with Dr. Sarah Chen, she asked the required question: "Do you feel pressured to donate?" I hesitated. Then I said, "Yes." Dr. Chen set down her pen and looked at me seriously. "Tell me about that pressure." I explained everything. The lifelong pattern of sacrificing for Derek. The expectation that I'd give him my kidney because I was the healthy one. The guilt trips. The accusations of selfishness. "And if the decision were entirely yours, with no family pressure, would you want to donate?" she asked. I thought about it honestly. "No, I don't trust Derek to take care of the kidney. He's never taken care of anything in his life. He doesn't take dialysis seriously. He still drinks. I think he does drugs but lies about it. I don't want to go through major surgery and lose an organ for someone who's going to destroy it." Dr. Chen nodded. "Thank you for being honest. Here's what I need you to understand. You have the absolute right to say no, and I have the professional obligation to protect you. If you're being coerced, I will not clear you for donation." "But my parents will." "Your parents won't know it was your choice. I'll find medical reasons to disqualify you. Or I'll focus on Derek's suitability as a recipient. But I will not let you be bullied into giving away an organ." I cried with relief. "Thank you." "That's what I'm here for." Dr. Chen scheduled a family meeting 2 weeks later to discuss the evaluation results. She told my parents it was standard procedure. We all sat in the conference room: me, my parents, Derek, Dr. Chen, the transplant coordinator Maria, and a social worker named James. Dr. Chen started by explaining the evaluation process. Then she said, "Before we discuss Caroline's donor clearance, I need to address Derek's recipient evaluation." My parents looked confused. "What about it? He needs a kidney. That's why we're here." "Derek needs a kidney, yes, but a transplant isn't just about need, it's about suitability. We have to ensure the recipient will take care of the donated organ." She opened Derek's file. "Derek, you were supposed to attend dialysis 3 times a week. According to the records from your dialysis center, you've missed 60% of your appointments over the past 8 months. Can you explain why?" Derek shifted uncomfortably. "I've been busy with work." "You work part-time at a bar, correct? 20 hours a week, evening shifts?" "Yeah." "Dialysis appointments are available at multiple times, including mornings and afternoons. The center offers 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. slots. You've been offered accommodation repeatedly. Missing this many appointments suggests non-compliance, which is a red flag for transplant candidacy." Dr. Chen pulled out printed schedules. "In the past 8 months, you attended 38 out of 96 required sessions. That's 58 missed appointments. Each missed session means toxins building up in your blood, putting additional strain on your remaining kidney function. This pattern of non-compliance is medically dangerous and suggests you wouldn't comply with post-transplant requirements. My mother jumped in. He's been struggling. The dialysis makes him tired. It's hard for him. Once he has the transplant, he won't need dialysis anymore, so this won't be an issue. Actually, Mrs. Mitchell, non-compliance with dialysis strongly predicts non-compliance with post-transplant medication. Studies show that patients who miss more than 20% of dialysis appointments have a 70% higher rate of transplant rejection due to medication non-compliance. She pulled out more documents. We also run standard toxicology screens on all transplant candidates. Derek's screens from the past 6 months show positive results for cocaine on 3 occasions and marijuana on 5 occasions. Specifically, cocaine detected on February 12th, March 8th, and April 3rd. THC detected on January 15th, February 22nd, March 15th, April 10th, and May 2nd. She laid out the lab reports so everyone could see the printed results. Derek, when you filled out your medical history forms, you checked no for current drug use. These results show that was false. Can you explain? Derek stared at the table. I didn't think it mattered. It was just recreational. Just when I went out with friends. Any drug use matters when you're being evaluated for a transplant, Maria interjected. Cocaine is particularly concerning because it constricts blood vessels and can damage kidney function. Marijuana affects judgment and can interfere with medication compliance. Both suggest risk-taking behavior incompatible with protecting a transplanted organ. My father's face went red. Derek, you said you stopped all that. Derek didn't answer. Dr. Chen continued. We also test liver enzymes to check overall health. Derek's ALT level is 68. Normal is under 40. His AST is 75. Normal is under 40. His GGT is 112. Normal is under 50. These elevations are consistent with regular heavy alcohol consumption. The pattern suggests you're drinking significantly more than you've reported to medical staff. Derek, our records show you told the social worker you weren't willing to stop drinking after transplant. Is that accurate? I said I'd cut back, Derek muttered. Transplant recipients cannot drink alcohol. The immunosuppressants are processed by the liver, and alcohol creates additional stress. Combining them significantly increases the risk of liver damage and kidney rejection. James, the social worker, spoke up. During my evaluation, I asked Derek about his support system and lifestyle changes. He told me he didn't think he needed to change his lifestyle much because, once I get the kidney, I'll be fixed. This indicates a fundamental misunderstanding of what transplant requires. The room was tense. My parents looked between Derek and the doctors, trying to process. Dr. Chen laid it out plainly. A kidney transplant is not a cure. It's a treatment that requires lifelong commitment. Based on Derek's current behavior, missing dialysis, using drugs, drinking alcohol, refusing to commit to lifestyle changes, there's a very high probability that he would not comply with post-transplant care. A donated kidney in Derek's body would likely fail within 6 months to 2 years due to non-compliance. He'll change once he gets the kidney, Mom insisted. He'll do better. He promises, don't you, Derek? Derek nodded, but he still wouldn't look at anyone. Promises aren't enough, Maria, the transplant coordinator, said gently. We need demonstrated behavior change. If Derek can show 6 months of perfect dialysis attendance, clean toxicology screens, and abstinence from alcohol, we can reevaluate his candidacy. My father turned to me. Caroline, you can still donate. Even if they have concerns, you can insist. Actually, Mr. Mitchell, Dr. Chen interrupted, I cannot allow a living donor surgery to proceed when the recipient is not medically or psychologically suitable. It would be unethical. Caroline would be undergoing a major surgery with permanent health implications to provide an organ that would likely fail quickly due to Derek's non-compliance. So you're saying Derek can't get a transplant? Mom's voice was rising. I'm saying Derek can't get a transplant right now. If he demonstrates 6 months of compliance and sobriety, we'll reconsider. But currently, he is not a suitable candidate. My mother turned on me. This is your fault. You told them things. You made Derek look bad. Mrs. Mitchell, Dr. Chen said sharply, Caroline's donor evaluation is confidential. I made this determination based on Derek's medical records, toxicology screens, and behavior. Your daughter had nothing to do with it. That was technically true. My concerns had simply directed Dr. Chen to look more carefully at what was already in Derek's records. Derek, is this true? Dad asked. The drugs, the drinking, the missed dialysis? Derek finally spoke. Yeah, it's true. I've been messing up. Why didn't you tell us? Because I knew you'd be disappointed. I thought if I could just get the transplant, I'd have motivation to change. Dr. Chen shook her head. That's backwards. You need to change to qualify for transplant, not get a transplant to motivate change. An organ is too precious to waste on hoping someone will change later. The meeting ended badly. My parents were angry. At Derek, at the doctors, at the situation. But notably, they weren't pressuring me anymore. In the car afterward, Mom said, I can't believe Derek lied to us about all of this. He's been lying about a lot of things for a long time, I said quietly. What's that supposed to mean? It means you've been enabling him for years. You've bailed him out of every consequence, paid for every mistake, made excuses for every failure. And now you're surprised he hasn't developed responsibility or self-control. We were helping our son. You were preventing him from growing up. And now his kidneys are failing because of choices he made. Choices you helped him avoid consequences for. My father was quiet for a long time. Then he said, Would you have donated? If Derek had been compliant? I thought about lying, but I was done protecting everyone's feelings. No, I wouldn't have. Dr. Chen asked me privately if I felt pressured. I said yes. I told her I didn't want to donate. She was protecting me by focusing on Derek's suitability, but I was never going to say yes. Mom gasped. How could you? He's your brother. And this is my body, my kidney, my health, my choice. I don't owe Derek my organs just because we share DNA. That's incredibly selfish. No. What's selfish is expecting me to undergo major surgery and give away an organ I need to someone who won't take care of it. What's selfish is 30 years of putting Derek first and expecting me to sacrifice again and again. I moved out of my parents' apartment the following week. I'd been living there temporarily to save money, but I couldn't stay in that environment anymore. Derek went to rehab a month later, not because he wanted to change, but because my parents made it a condition of continuing to support him financially. He completed the program. He's been sober for 4 months now. He's attending all his dialysis appointments. His last 2 toxicology screens were clean. My parents called last week. Derek's doing so well. He's really changed. Dr. Chen said if he maintains this for another 2 months, they'll reconsider his transplant candidacy. That's good. So, would you reconsider donating? No. But he's changed. He's proven himself. I'm glad he's doing better, truly. But my answer is still no. This is a permanent decision about my body. I've made my choice. Caroline, please. He's your brother. And I'm his sister, not his spare parts. If Derek maintains sobriety and compliance for 6 months, he'll be eligible for the deceased donor list. That's the appropriate path for him. They hung up angry. They haven't called since. But Dr. Chen called last week. I wanted you to know that Derek is doing well. He's taking this seriously now. And I wanted to thank you for being honest with me about the pressure you felt. You did the right thing. I feel guilty sometimes, I admitted. Don't. You're not responsible for Derek's health. He is. And forcing you to donate when you didn't want to would have been unethical and potentially harmful to both of you. She paused. I see this more than you'd think. Families who assume one child owes their body to save another child. But organ donation has to be freely given, without coercion. That's not just ethics, it's the law. Here's what I've learned. Some families see one child's body as community property available to save another child. They don't see it as a profound personal sacrifice. They see it as an obligation. My parents genuinely believed I was selfish for not immediately offering my kidney. They couldn't understand why I'd hesitate to undergo major surgery, lose an organ, and accept permanent health risks for Derek. But they'd never asked Derek to sacrifice for me. They'd never demanded he give up anything that mattered to him for my benefit. The sacrifices only went one direction, and even beyond the unfairness, there was the fundamental truth that Dr. Chen exposed. Derek wasn't a suitable recipient. His lifestyle choices had destroyed his own kidneys, and without serious changes, he'd destroy a donated one too. Giving him my kidney wouldn't have saved his life. It would have been a temporary fix that failed as soon as he went back to old habits, and I'd be left with one kidney instead of two. If you're watching this, and a family member needs an organ, please know, you are not obligated to donate. Organ donation must be a free, informed, uncoerced choice. If you feel pressured, tell the transplant team. They are trained to protect potential donors. And if you're being told you're selfish for saying no, understand this. Your body is yours. Your organs are yours. You don't owe anyone else access to them, even family, even to save a life. The transplant evaluation process exists specifically to protect donors from coercion. Doctors will find medical reasons to disqualify you if you tell them privately that you're being pressured. They'll protect your confidentiality. They'll take the blame from your family. Let them. That's their job. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you dealt with family pressure to make medical decisions you didn't want to make? How did you handle it? What helped you set boundaries? Drop your story in the comments. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And remember, your body belongs to you. Medical decisions are yours alone. And saying no to organ donation doesn't make you selfish. It makes you human. I'm Caroline Mitchell. I'm 29 years old. My parents demanded my kidney for my brother who'd destroyed his own through drugs and alcohol. A doctor's report about his lifestyle exposed the truth and protected me from a donation I didn't want to make. Derek is working on sobriety now. I'm glad. I hope he stays healthy. But I'm keeping both my kidneys, and I'm keeping my boundaries too. Your body, your choice. Always.